all-new Yamaha V6 Offshore F350. It's a featherweight knockout, the lightest 350 horsepower outboard on the water, exhilarating boating and incredible control in a powerfully light design. The Yamaha V6 Offshore F350.
Tune into this week's video for reports from around the island, the Manhattan Cup results, big results, as Shimano's Spiros overview, and events that are coming up.
The Fishing News is sponsored by these fine partners. For nearly 90 years, the Viking fleet from Montauk has been putting anglers on the fish. Whether you jump on a half-day trip, fish the deep for an overnight adventure targeting big game, a day trip to Block, or a sunset cruise, their experienced captains and crew have you covered. VikingFleet.com.
Hey, today's date's the 13th of June, and the fishing news this week is the results from last week's big Manhattan Cup. Jim Hutch was there. Jim, what do you got for us?
60 pounds. Mike Dean, regular contributor to the Fisherman's weekly video fishing forecast out of Long Island, has broken the Manhattan Cup record for largest striped bass ever in that event, taping out at 47 inches with a chunky 32-inch girth. I gotta wonder if this fish ever dropped her eggs. The calculations for estimating weight, length times girth divided by 800 put Dean's tournament-winning fish at 60.16 pounds. It was caught aboard Captain Adrian Muller's Brooklyn-based Rockfish charters. Congrats. Now this Manhattan Cup, as every one of them, is a first-class event, from the check-in breakfast to the final awards. The winner of the Christopher J. Raguso Memorial Cup for the wounded service veteran with the largest striper was Dwayne Lalathan, with another monster striper estimated at 52.56 pounds, 50 inches in length, and a 29-inch girth. That was caught aboard Captain Willie Davis's Epic One. Congrats, Captain Willie. Now, Don Meyer caught the largest striper on an artificial 29.61 pounds with Captain Anthony Grassi aboard fin chaser Makyra. Roger Raw also tallied a big bait bass of 52.56 pounds aboard Captain Frank Giesi's Greta. Captain Andy Lacasio of Long Island Fishing Charters won a gray striper mount for largest average length of 5 striped bass tagged with Gray Fish Tag Research streamer tags. He also had the top prize for most stripers caught by an angler named John O'Brien. Top bluefish caught and released at the Manhattan Cup. Joe Albanese took top honors, 10.66 pounds for largest on an artificial, fishing with Captain Frank Crescitelli aboard the fin chaser, with Jose Enchotegui grabbing largest bluefish on bait, 10.08 pounds aboard Captain Adam Frank's Legal Sea. Now, there's also a largest bluefish on the fly that was angled by Bill Dawson, 4.93 pounds, fishing with another regular contributor to the Fisherman magazine, Captain Mike Century, aboard Anglers of Legends Sportfish. Now, proceeds from the Manhattan Cup benefit veterans of our nation's armed forces, along with local charities and organizations, including Gray Fish Tag Research and our annual Northeast Striped Bass Study. 60.16 pounds. Congratulations, Mike Dean.
Hey, I don't know if you guys have been tuning into the Fisherman magazine reports in the magazine recently, but Tony, he's from Islip Terrace. He had a 40.5-pound black drum while fluke fishing in the Fire Island Inlet area. I also got reports of another black drum that came up from the surf, similar sized fish. They're out there. Try and get one yourself. The latest digital issue of the Fisherman magazine, it's out right now, and we have some great stories for you guys now. We have dockside storage, all about keeping that bait alive at dockside. Nothing like having fresh live bait when going out. Then beach etiquette. If you drive the beaches, you got to have some etiquette. Check this one out if you are hopping on the beaches very soon. Also, if you guys like clams, I know what I do. You saw my video from back in the spring. Grilled clams in the summertime. Great recipe, fresh, easy. Check this one out. Jenny touched on sea bass fishing last week. This week is more on sea bass, but it's Jig Selection Forum for the upcoming sea bass season in New York. Jenny, what do you got for us?
Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Open Boat. Now, last week I talked about a sea bass rig that I like to use, and I hinted at the one jig to rule them all while sea bass fishing. Hopefully that week span gave you time to think about what jig I was going to be talking about, because now's the time to talk about the diamond jig. Now, why do I like using a diamond jig while sea bass fishing? The diamond jigs get to the bottom faster. They fight through strong underwater current, so you can jig up some nice knuckleheads. They have a single hook. That's my pet peeve. I love fishing single hooks on lures. It just makes your life so much easier. Your hookup ratio may be altered. I mean, if you're like surf fishing, but sea bass, you're set with this. So you have that single hook, which makes it easier when you're flinging in sea bass. You can literally just grab the jig itself and plop the sea bass off. Easy peasy, fill the box, lemon squeezy. Now, although I'm sitting in the shade here, you can still see the shine of the diamond jig. When that jig gets down to the bottom and you're jigging it, it flutters a little and it'll make that flash. So it looks like a bait fish, and sea bass cannot resist that. I bet you if I put this thing over my koi pond behind me, the freaking koi would be going nuts. They think it's a giant Cheerio bait fish that they want to feast on. But the sea bass can't resist a good old diamond jig. Now you can range in the ounces. This one's a 3-ouncer here. You can go 2, 3, 4, up to like 8 ounces, depending on the conditions, how deep you are, stuff like that. Now, I'm a big history buff. If you read my article about bucktailing in the surf, there was a whole paragraph talking about the history of the bucktail. Because if you do your research on these things, a lot of these lures and rods and reels and different aspects of fishing are just rich with history. And it's so much fun to learn and just share all these fun facts with you guys. But this is just the history buff and me geeking out. But so the diamond jig, history of it. It's been around for almost 100 years. It was first created in the 1920s by a guy out of Bridgeport, Connecticut. So shout out New Englanders. His name was John Schmook. And he worked for a toy company, but he created the diamond jig, and they dubbed it the Bridgeport diamond jig. Now today, of course, there's a ton of different companies making their own, and just like different variants of the diamond jig, stuff like that. But this one has been a pinnacle sea bass crusher for over 100 years. So you can pick yourself up one of these. If you want to use, you can use a spinning rod. A lot of guys are big fans of slow pitch jigging when it comes to sea bass fishing. So get out there, you got your rig set up, you got your jig now, catch some knuckleheads. I'll see you guys on next week's Open Boat.
For some of you may have noticed that we're actually at Cow Harbor Bait and Tackle today at Britannia Marina. These guys got everything. They got loaded inventory. They got rods, reels, lures, bait. They do rod building as well. Mark and Phil are always down here. You got to see these guys. They know what to talk about, knowledgeable guys. Come down, check them out, talk fishing with them, and also check out Mark's report later in the broadcast. We have an update on the Dreamboat and Coastal Kayak Clash with Tim C. Smith.
And now the Dreamboat Fishing Challenge entries for the week. In the Sea Robin category, we had 4 entries. There was Ahmed Solomon, a Long Island subscriber, weighing in his catch at 3.25 pounds, taking the top spot, putting Dan Solomon into 2nd place. Kyle Kraus, also a Long Island subscriber, enters his 2nd entry with his Sea Robin at 2.2 pounds, putting him into 6th place, but not enough to bump Anthony Savino out of 5th. Taking the 7th spot is another Long Island subscriber, Joseph Yam, with his Sea Robin weighing in at 2.10 pounds, putting him into 2nd place on the leaderboard. And we have a Jersey subscriber, Johnny Rouse, with his entry coming in at 2 pounds. Placing 2nd with his fluke entry is Long Island subscriber Richard Rubio, coming in at 7.56 pounds. This week's leaderboard standing is Anthony Savino at 19 points, Joseph Yam with 12 points, knocking Frank Shea into 3rd with 10 points. Just a reminder, for your chance to win the grand prize Steigercraft powered by Yamaha and other great prizes, you need to be a subscriber to the Fisherman magazine and use the 2024 entry form filled out completely, available at thefisherman.com/contests. It was another exciting week in the Coastal Kayak Clash with 3 fish hitting the board. New York's William Mabanta moved up to second place in the fluke category with his 24.75-inch fluke. Jason Oser kept the pressure on with his category-leading 21.25-inch sea bass. And Tom Howard of Rhode Island had the biggest fish of the week with a 47-inch cow stripe bass. The top three looks like this. Tom Howard now sits in third place with 5 points. Bob Wagner holds steady in second place with 6 points. And Justin Oser maintains a strong lead with 9 points. To get all the information on how to enter, visit thefisherman.com/contests.
I had the chance to fish with the publisher and owner of the Fisherman magazine on his new 25-foot Steigercraft powered by the latest 350 Yamaha. We hit Long Island Sound in search of bass and fluke. The glass calm conditions showed life on the surface that turned out to be mackerel.
Oh. Something follow that?
Yeah, it looked like there was. Had a little follower. It was time to match the hatch, so I chose a mackerel soft plastic just to get the job done. There we go, I got him. I knew there was a bass over there.
Way to go, Matt. Way to go, buddy. Looks like you got one. You got to get on that platform. You can do it. Nice, man. Good looking fish.
There we go.
Woo! Woohoo! Yeah!
Yeah, there we go.
All right, we broke the streak.
Yeah, I got to say that this setup, this combo, this reel and rod, great setup for throwing small plastics. I was able to cast this tiny little jig right into a pot of fish. Took it right away, felt the action of it. It was awesome. What I have in my hand here is a Shimano Spheros spinning reel. High quality reel, great reel from 5,000 up to a 20,000 size. You can do anything from inshore striped bass, bluefish, all the way up to tuna jigging offshore. On this particular 5,000 reel in my hand right here, I have 30-pound Power Pro slick braid in a high vis color. Also on the reel, you have your power handle. You can go left or right hand retrieve. It's got a precision drag, and it's got a manual trip bail, so if you're casting plugs, you don't want to snap them off, that's perfect for you if you're that type of fisherman. We also have a 8,000 size on hand as well. Again, it's got that manual trip bail, as you can see. The drag, very fine tune on that. Up to a 20,000 size, so anywhere from striped bass up to big tuna, they got you covered with this one.
Now it was time to go fluking, so I tied on a bucktail with some scented bait and jigged off the bottom. Okay, looks like I've got a fish here, and it's at the end of the day. Matt, this has been a pretty interesting day.
It's been a good day. I think that's a good fish,
Matt,
too.
Maybe we should net that guy. What do you think?
We'll put him in a net.
It's possible this guy could be what we're looking for. Maybe.
Nice fish, Mike.
All right.
Woo! Nice fish.
That's cool.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, so Matt, tell me, I mean, I'm using the Shimano Tranx reel with this, and you're using the Spheros.
The Spheros.
And both super smooth, you know, and really, we're not just talking about the cranking smoothness. The drags on these things are incredibly smooth.
It's all around a solid reel.
Solid reel.
Between the drag, the cranking, it's got that power knob on it.
And the Spheroses are really known for, you know, for being great value. So this guy, we're gonna let him go. I don't think he's gonna make quite a keeper. Good looking fish nonetheless, and a great day. Yeah, Matt, so what do you think of that outfit, that Shimano Loomis outfit?
You know, my honest opinion, I really got to say that between the rod and the reel, focus on the reel first. It's smooth. You know, it's got that power knob on it, which I really like for, you know, cranking power. It's got that manual bail. For the price point, that's awesome. You know, I mean, I don't have to worry about snapping off lures if I'm casting or something like that, losing those $20 plugs. That's a really nice feature. And I mean, the drag too is super sensitive, super smooth. It all goes along with that Shimano, you know, what they are. You know, it's smoothness, capable reels, and even better, it's at that great price point for this Spheros. And it goes up to a 20,000 size. You can get those big fish on them too.
Yeah, so, you know, whether you're inshore fluking, striped bass fishing like we are today, surf casting, or tuna fishing, this is a product line from Shimano that I think covers it all.
For sure, it's a winner. Now let's take a look at the upcoming events. This Saturday, June 15th, is Buoy 35's first annual Father's Day Bass Tournament. I'm going to be down there. Come on out and fish, but check it out. Great event. Then June 22nd is the South Shore Invitational Charity Fishing Tournament. I'm going to be there as well. Also on June 22nd is the Great Gun Mauritius Anglers Inshore and Offshore Fishing Tournament. And on June 23rd is the All-Pro Fishing Duke of Fluke Tournament and Fair. Get all the details at thefisherman.com/events. Now let's head on over to the map and I'll tell you what I've been hearing. First off, we have Alex. He fished on the South Shore from the surf, and get this, 30-pound redfish. He had out on a bunker head. Awesome fish. It's not the first one I've heard of this year. If you saw the digital edition last week, you saw another redfish that was caught from the surf. Totally different fish, but Alex sent me this 30-pounder. Awesome fish, Alex. Maybe we see a bite developing right here. I quote, "My wife Melinda and I were fishing the full moon from the surf at Rockaway Beach this Thursday, June 6th. We were fishing fresh bunker and hooked a couple of gator blues. Melinda, farmer, landed this nice 32-incher, and I, Kevin Brown, pulled a 34-incher. They both fought hard with breaches and multiple runs before we finally beached them. We kept the 32-incher for dinner and sent the 34 back for another day. Also had a 19.5-inch fluke that was released as well. Nice mixed bag over there. Then 12-year-old Noah Fazio out of Lindenhurst. He was fishing with his father Anthony on his friend Dean's boat outside of Fire Island Inlet. They were live lining bunker. You guys know that bunker bite has been super hot with those big fish. They're on the pods. This fish pictured here, 48 inches, estimated at 50 pounds. Nice job. Then on the Miss Montauk 2, this was last week, Alan Yee, he had his limit of fluke caught on chicken rigs, pink shine gulp. He said fluke belly, Peruvian, spearing, mackerel strips were all working as well. He also hopped on a Nantucket fluke trip with the Viking Starship. He caught a lot of keeper fluke. He got his limit, no problem at all. Then Dean Perry Jr., he was fishing in the ocean, not far off of Robert Moses in 40 feet of water. He said he had a 53.4-pound bass. Congratulations, Dean, on joining the 50-pound club. That's an awesome fish. Louis Salento, he told us that the surf is hot over at Cedar Beach and Mount Sinai. He had this keeper fluke from the surf. He said there was a lot of others caught as well. Caught it on a bucktail and a gulp. Then Mike Caruso, the fisherman's own Mike Caruso, he got out on his 25 Steiger craft over the weekend. He told me he fished the Port Jefferson, Mount Sinai area, and he got some nice fluke. There was some stripers, and plus those Boston mackerel are still around. If you do have a notable catch, email me at mbroderick@thefisherman.com. I'll try and get into weekly video fishing forecast or the magazine. Meteorologist Rich Von Ohlen, his weather and fishing report is brought to you by Premium Bucktails. Rich.
Hey, thanks, Matt. We'll check that weekend forecast. You can always check your favorite apps, weather tools, weather sites, whatever you got. This is a general heads up, general overview on the upcoming weekend. So it looks like the fluke bite continues to be very good this week. I was out and about, and Back Bays in Nassau County, Reynolds Channel, still doing well. You know, plenty of fluke action with fish up to 22 inches. And Some shorts in the mix, but on the gulps, the bucktails still doing very well with this fluke bite, which has been terrific for about a month and a half now. So I like that. Water temps starting to come up. We got some 60s on the Jersey Shore, beginning to see some of that warmer water in the ocean. So a sign of things to come, perhaps. And looks like Friday's going to be a summery day, but a southwest breeze ahead of the front. Early morning to midday would be good. Late in the afternoon and evening, you may want to, kind of stay tight because it looks like it's going to get a little bumpy with some thunderstorms, some showers coming in. Saturday, north wind, comfortable, looks good as the front goes by, a little gusty, but not bad. And Sunday, pick of the weekend for Father's Day. A northeast, southeast breeze looks okay. Saturday's winds, north 10 to 15, gust to 20 with nice comfortable weather, a little bit of a chop there. Sunday, maybe the pick of the weekend, a little lighter breeze, northeast going southeast in the afternoon. See 1 to 2, 2 to 4s on Saturday. The farther offshore you go Saturday, a little bit worse with that gusty breeze coming in from the north, and then settles down a general 1 to 2, 2 to 4. The sound should be good, the bay should be good, surf should be good. It's like a nice weekend overall. Saturday, comfortable, nice. We got 70s to near 80. Sunday, it's even cooler, mostly 70s, but nice and comfortable. Check the Guru, one of my go-to apps here. And, Friday, southwest, little window there, mid to late morning, early afternoon, but then, winds really crank with the front coming through, thunderstorms in the evening at night. Saturday goes through pretty quickly. A little gusty breeze from the north, northeast, maybe 15, 20, gust to 25, but, should be better late in the afternoon. And Sunday, pick of the weekend, I like Father's Day, looks terrific. So Friday, again, just watch out, use caution, southwest breeze ahead of the front. Saturday, it's okay, but it's a little gusty from the northeast, 10 to 20, and then pick of the weekend, certainly Sunday for the dads on Father's Day. Should be terrific. So have a great weekend, be safe, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Enjoy the fishing, catch them up. Matt, back to you.
Now let's check in with Captain Timothy O'Rourke from Montauk. Tim.
Thank you, Matt. Well, good morning, everybody. Short and sweet report this morning. Kind of running late last night, so I'm just getting it in. As you can see, I'm down on the beach. There's fish breaking on the surface behind me. We got a lot of bass and bluefish in the area. It's doing really well. Like I said, the bluefish have moved in, making it a little more challenging, but the bigger fish are coming in. Ebb tide, they've been doing night bass, live eels, very limited capacity, and they've been doing excellent. A lot of fish over 40 pounds. It's been really fun. I'll have a picture of that. The offshore report, we're starting to see bluefin tuna coming closer, and the canyon's starting to heat up as well. There's a few small bluefins brought in this week, and that should only get better as things improve. A lot of bait out there offshore, a lot of whales. The Viking 5-star and the Star ship have been doing the offshore cod tilefish trips. They've been doing an excellent job on that. They've been getting a lot of tilefish, some bigger, larger tilefish. So if you have any interest in going tile fishing, now's a good time to check that out. They'll be switching over to tuna probably after another couple trips. On a good note, a lot of captains have told me this week the fluking has picked up. We've seen a lot of, not a lot, but we've seen quite a few fish over 10 pounds on the Miss Montauk, the Ebb Tide, and some of the other charter boats. So that's a good sign. The water's warming up. It's Father's Day weekend. The weather's looking great. So go out fishing with your father and have a great weekend. Thank you, Matt.
From Sag Harbor, we have Will this week.
Thanks, Matt. Our report this week out of Sag Harbor. On the inshore front, striped bass, bluefish, porgies, weakfish, maybe even blowfish. The inshore bite is really continuing to come in hot. There's also fluke, which has been a little bit slower in our area, kind of around Shelter Island, Green Lawns, Peconic. That is continuing to improve day by day. And obviously, as further out east towards Montauk, the bite is hot with, big fish in the rips from striped bass, all shapes and sizes, bluefish, porgies, bottom fishing, you name it. Before you know, we're going to have black sea bass right around the corner, so that's super exciting.
Big congratulations, Mike Dean, taking home the win in the Manhattan Cup with an estimated 60-pounder. Mike, I know you're going to tell us all about it, but we want to hear a fishing report as well. What do you got?
Thanks, Matt. Hey, everyone. Fishing's still going really good in between Shinnecock and Mauritius. Not the lights out craziness of when those big bass and the bunkers showed up Memorial Day weekend, but there's still a lot of bunker around, a lot of whales, a lot of dolphins. One of my buddies even saw a sea turtle out there the other day, and there are fish around, but it's a little bit of work, but it's good fishing. So we're coming up on the Strawberry Moon, one of the most productive moons of the year, fishing wise, and it's going to be exciting stuff as I'm sure we have more waves of big fish coming through. I know Montauk is starting to get some nice ones, so that's exciting. The surf casting bite off the beach, steady if you're putting the time in. The only downside of things is that a good number of cocktail blues have shown up, kind of wreaking havoc for shorebound flukers and anyone working soft plastics, for the bass. So just be aware of that. But that fluke bite is going pretty well, and it seems to kind of be in the back bays near the inlets, a little bit out front as well, and that just improves week to week. Also exciting news to see Jodine Fish coming out of Shinnecock, got into a couple of smaller rec-sized bluefin tuna today. A number of people have gotten into some tuna in the last week, so that's very exciting stuff, and hopefully that bite is going to improve. And it's also not that far. It's like 15 to 25 miles south of Shinnecock, a couple of different areas. I don't know exact numbers for them or exact areas, but if you're in that tuna game, I'm sure you have people that you can ask. So a lot of exciting stuff going on. Weather's looking good for the next few days. So get out there and fish. Let us know how you do. In other news, Manhattan Cup was a huge success. So many thanks to the Fisherman and all of our sponsors, Quantum Fishing, Ray Marine, Yamaha Outboards, just the list goes on and on and on. UVT Fishing, Beaches and Beans, no live bait needed. Just a really spectacular year, awesome people, the veterans we were able to help, and to have seen that change from when they showed up for the day until after fishing, it's like nothing in the world. Just unbelievable. So good friend of mine, Don Meyer, won the category for biggest striped bass on an artificial, which was a no live bait needed greenback 5-inch paddle tail. So very cool to have one of our sponsor products win one of the categories, and very cool to see a good friend of mine. Anytime you pretty much see me holding a fish on a boat that I caught, it's on his boat, and it does a lot taking my son and I out. So it was really cool to see him get a very cool catch. An epic catch happened, which took the overall at 60.14 pounds estimated using the formula of 47 inches length times 32-inch girth squared divided by 800. And that was caught by me. This was the thrill of a lifetime, fish of a lifetime. And it was because of me, because I might have reeled it in, but the team, our captain, Adrian Moeller, the mate, Felix, the other teammates, Mike Lee, Keith Overlander, and his son, Kevin, it all came together, and it was just absolutely amazing. To first of all, to catch a fish like that, and then to have it happen during the Manhattan Cup just was amazing. So truly grateful for it, and come and take it away next year. June 6, 2025 will be the Manhattan Cup next year. Want it? You want it? Take it. Okay, so very exciting stuff. Get out there and fish this weekend. Hope you have a great one. Back to you, Matt.
Hey, we're at Cow Harbor Bait and Tackle, but now we're going to head on over to Mark from Cow Harbor Bait and Tackle.
Hey, folks, let's get that 2-minute rundown on what's happening here on the North Shore of Long Island. Fishing is outrageous. We're all about the striped bass. Whether you're trolling, whether you're working top water plugs, pulling stick shads, working shads, rubber shads with lead heads. Fishing's lights out. It's just unbelievable. The chunking bite, wow, they're on the chunks. These fish are just ready to eat. They are moving. It's stacked up everywhere. I have to say, it's probably like some of the best striped bass fishing. And I know I'm always giving positive reports, but I have to say, this is just outrageous. And with the bluefish that have moved in, seeing bluefish from like 11 pounds right up to around 15, 14 pounds. And they're ripping all over the place. There are sparse, like spread out schools of bunkers. So whether you're going out to 11B, sitting out by the cable anchor reef, or you're like heading to the west by 15, or to the east halfway shelf down the Nesquag River, there's a lot of options. You're going to see nice electronics, just how many fish along the way. You don't even have to go for long journeys. You just have to keep your eyes out. And then, just use a lot of different methods. If you're drifting, you could be doing bucktails. You could be jigging, pulling wire, like I said. There's just so many options. These fish are on the feed bag. And we came off of a hot new moon. We're a few days off the new moon now. What, about 4 or 5? And new moon in June on the North Shore, baby. It is crazy. If you're a surfcaster, that whole midnight shift, that was really amazing. The night shift crew, they were like eating it up and really knocking out these fish. If you're out on the boat, forget about it. It's, and just look at the pictures from all our customers and a lot of people we get fish onto. I mean, it's just great to share this awesome memories. As in the mix now, we haven't spoken much about porgies because the porgies have been like really slim to none. It's it's tough. On the outside of the sound, that's where we've seen the heavier ones. On your way down towards the Nesquag River, off of some of the golf courses, that seems to be the heaviest population of porgies. And you can't miss them because it seems like every party boat from Connecticut and the Western Sound is set up in these areas. It's really quite uncanny to look at. And of course, we have our whole local fleet here. And the porgy fishing, they've been pretty good, although with that much pressure, you think they might sparse. It looks like they're starting to move down into the shores as I have this sand eel hatch just happen down for our neck of woods, down at Eaton's Neck. A lot of sand eels. These fish are spitting them up like crazy. And then you go right back down towards Stony Brook area, and the sand eels are still going strong. You're pulling up a gorgeous looking fluke in 10 to 15 feet of water, sometimes 8. You're watching it. It's very visual, a lot of sight fishing. And what else can I say? Wow. You know, haven't seen sea bass yet. Only small ones. They're coming up, 23rd of June. So if you catch one, better put it back. And fluke, just, you know, you got to move around with these fluke. So that's generally what you're seeing. Those mackerel, I haven't seen as many mackerel. Bunker are scarce, but the bunker chunk bite is fierce. That's why we sell a lot of bunker at the shop. Really fresh stuff. It's been good. Both shops stocked up with all the gear and stuff you need to get out there and get some success. So keep on going, and I love those Google reviews. Please give them, and it's always great to see you at one of our shops. As always, it bids you all peace and tight lines.
From the Fire Island area in Great South Bay, Captain Al Lorenzetti.
Hey Matt, Fire Island report looking pretty good. I had some nice fluke today to 6 pounds inside, so that's happening. There's still weakfish around. And there's a tuna bite going on at the Coimbra. I'll tell you, they had fish today, bluefin up to almost 60 inches. So some real nice quality fish on the troll. And like I said, that was around the Coimbra area. There's still striped bass around on the bunker pods, east and west of the inlet. And weak fishing, you know, Ocean Beach area. So things are looking good. Pretty much everything's on the menu now. And it only should get better, Matt. So that's it. We'll give you a shout next week. Keep you posted.
We've got Paul McCain from River Bay with some fly, freshwater, and some saltwater reports.
Hello, Matt. Here I am on the beaver kill. I come up here. What's amazing is we're only 3 hours, less than 3 hours away from phenomenal fishing. And not that it's easy, because you really got to figure it out. But I was very fortunate enough that I got out. I get a time off to come up here, and I came up with the Long Island Fly Rodders, which is the premier fly fishing club here on Long Island. If you're more interested in fly fishing, I definitely would join. As far as I came up here because I wanted to play around with my beautiful bamboo rod that was made by Mark Wayne. Beautiful, absolutely cast like a dream. And when you had a fish on, you knew you had a fish on. It was a lot of fun. I can't wait to get out there and do some more of that. This is one of the premier. The Catskills are incredible fishing. I usually fish a lot in Connecticut, and it's doing very well. My son and his girlfriend were over at the Farmington this weekend, and they reported banner days. The biggest brown trout he's ever caught was here on the Farmington. He is ecstatic. As far as saltwater goes, well, it's still bluefish. That's the key. But there's a lot of big bunker pods outside the inlets, and a lot of guys are going out there fishing with them with a fly rod. On the bunker pods, you're also going to see a lot of whales. So, you know, you got to be careful when you're out there. But it has been, so far, for me, personally, it's been a decent year. I've had a lot of action fishing for trout, warm water, salt water. Long Island's a fly fisherman's paradise, and you really got to get out. If you want to learn more, stop in the shop, and I'll be more than happy to help you out and get onto this journey of fly fishing. So until next week, tie lines, everybody.
Let's check on in with Chris Landry.
Thanks, Matt. Well, congratulations to Rockfish Charters, who won the Manhattan Cup this year with the biggest bass ever caught in the history of the Manhattan Cup. Rocksteady Charters won it last year. We were unable to defend our title this year because I'm selling my boat, but I will have a new boat in the next week or so to take people out on charters once again. But back to Rockfish Charters, They won with a 47-inch bass, but a huge girth. Adrian said it looked like it swallowed a beach ball. So congratulations to Fizo, Mike Lee, Captain Adrian, and Mike Dean, the Fisherman's Magazine's own, who caught that fish for a great cause, the Manhattan Cup. It is the tail end of the bass run right now. There are a lot bigger fish to catch right now. There's thresher sharks out there, there's tuna out there, and all you sensitive tuna fishermen, don't get upset at me. It's all over social media. I'm not breaking any news here, but you can go out for bluefin and yellowfin. The season is on for these bigger pelagics. That's what I love to do. All right, so we can really bend a rod. Otherwise, there's our black sea bass out there. You can get porgies, get fluke, but I'm really excited for these pelagics coming in now. The summer is always a super fun time to really get these big fish. All right, so the new Rocksteady 3 will be going out deep for these big pelagics, so hit me up and be safe out there. Thank you, and back to you, Matt.
From the Western Sound, up in Rye, we have Nuno Decosta.
Hey guys, Nuno here from Tyalure Tackle. Another wonderful day on the Long Island Sound. Bluefin Sound Fishing Charters took us out today. We had a rep from Bimini Bay Tsunami with us. What a stunning day. Fish on a live bait and flutter spoon spectacular. We had over 5 dozen fish. We were live on Instagram. Guys got to see us. Absolutely stunning and stuff. Fishing, still red hot for striped bass. Live bait has been the king. You know, some guys are still flutter spooning and jigging. The trolling's still working, but live bait is king. If you could get your hands on live bunker, that has been the king on the western end of the sound and pieces to the east, like off of Captain's and Little Captain's and off of Norwalk. A guy off of Long Island also on the North Shore. A lot of spots are producing, but bunker is king right now. Fluke fishing remains very good. The porgies tapered off a little bit, and today we had gorilla bluefish this morning. When I say gorilla blue, teen-sized bluefish this morning, so a big inundation. It seems like a new school of larger bluefish has arrived. Offshore word is bluefin still hot. Atlantis still producing bluefin. Tilefish at the Hudson. Seems like a good year to start, guys. Get out there, enjoy this weather. Summer's gonna go quick.
Rob Greco from the Long Island Outdoorsman, he checks in with us.
Hello fisherman readers, this is Robert Greco from Long Island Outdoorsman giving you this week's fishing report. Starting with the fluke, it's been another good week of back bay fluke fishing on the south shore of Long Island on the western end. Ken Smith had a 27-inch fluke fishing with our good friend Gene Trapoto. As far as the stripers go, it's been another good week for stripers as well. One of our employees, Jack Roche, out in Montauk, was banging up some nice slot-sized stripers on the Savage Gear jigs. As far as Deb's Inlet goes, it's been a little spotty. If you can get on bunker, there's been some bass on the fish, on the bait, excuse me, but it's been a little tough to find bait. The bait seems to keep moving. Bait will be in one spot one day, it's in a completely another spot another day. I'm hearing Roundhouse, the Needle. You know, if you're coming out of Jones or Deb's Inlet, that's a good place to check. As far as consistency, it seems to be the Raritan Bay, Sandy Hook area seems to be the most consistent. So if you're looking for really, really big bass, that seems to be where they're getting them, like those 40 and 50 pound fish. And yeah, it's been another good week of fishing. So back to you guys.
The Fisherman Magazine has their apparel store now. We have hats, sweatshirts, hoodies, t-shirts, all online now. And we're offering free shipping with orders over $100. It's the perfect gift for yourself or that angler in your life. Visit thefisherman.com/shop or click on the card in the upper right. Remember to like our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and tap on the bell to be notified instantly when we do post a new video on YouTube. And do please support our correspondents by visiting the websites and our social media pages. Don't forget this video is available as a podcast on iTunes and Google Music. Search for the Fisherman Magazine podcast and subscribe so you can listen to this broadcast and our other content. There's some interesting southern species showing up in our area. We got redfish, black drum. The fluke fishing is getting a lot better in the bays recently, actually all around the island for that matter. Striper fishing is still red hot. We got a great weekend coming up, but we will see you next week.